Hey, this is Harsh Game Reviews. Today I'll be reviewing Bad North, which is a game I've been playing recently. It's a very simple game, but I think it deserves a review because it's a very good game. I'd give this game an 8 out of 10 for my score. I always like to do the score first because it makes it very easy for people to look at one of my reviews and then say, oh, that's the score of the game. And if that's all they need, they can go about their day. But if they want to learn more as to why I gave it an 8 out of 10, or, well, in this case, an 8 out of 10, depends on the individual game, but I just like to have that in advance so that people know. That's all I'm going to say for that. But let's get into the pros and cons. This will be a pretty quick video. I just want to get it out there because it's a good game and it's worth a review. Personally, my favorite part about the game is the art and animations. I think they do both of these very well. I feel like the art perfectly exemplifies what they're trying to do with the whole Viking theme, and I just personally enjoy the style. That's a personal preference, but this is a preference-based review, so that's kind of how that works. I think the animations are well done, and they never look like they had an issue. It's simple, but it only needs to be simple, because the premise is simple, and overall, that portion is very well done. No complaints there, which is a rarity for me. So I think they also have a very well executed premise where you're these villagers starting on an original island and then going to other islands to try to secure other leaders to help you in battle, but also to save the towns from the Viking invasions. And the towns give you gold, and that's a great way to do the economy for this game, and a great way to do basically the entire game. That's what you're going to be doing, going from village to village, saving people from island to island. And I think the turn system they do here is great as well, because it helps you, well, you wouldn't know this in a review, but once you play the game, it really helps you show a sense of urgency. When you end a turn, the islands behind you get removed from play, so you can never go back to them. And I feel like that sort of style helps you feel like the decisions you make have consequence, and you can't always replay certain areas, because not only do they disappear, but also if one of your characters dies, it's a permadeath, and I personally like that as well, because permanent death shows that you really have to be careful with your characters, and these people that you've built up for quite a long time can just get offed in a random island, and then you can't use them ever again. So that shows a bit more of consequence. It's a very hard game once you get into the later parts of the campaign, but in the beginning it's astoundingly easy, and that's a good thing, I personally think, but I feel like it has a sort of boring start, and that's when we really get into the negatives of this game. I give it an 8 out of 10 because overall the loop's great, but in the beginning the tutorial's a little boring. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. It's a little boring. In the end, you get stuck with not a lot of unit variety. There's only 3 types of units you can choose from, being the archer, the knight, and the spear bearer. And from that, all you can do is upgrade that particular type of unit in one way. You just make them better. You don't make them any different. You don't change any of that. The items that you get in the game are interesting, and that's a good way to make variety out of a bad situation. But I feel like it becomes a little bland because the things you spend gold on are either the item that you pick who gets it, and that's cool, but you have to upgrade your units, and that's more of an expense in terms of like getting an oil change for a car rather than enjoying the money. It's something you have to do. It's filing taxes. It sucks, but you have to do it, and that's what happens in this game. And also in the game, another con that I personally have is that there's going to be no future updates. There's going to be no changes to this game, really. I don't see it happening anytime soon. They did very well with this game, but it's not going to do any better than it currently is. what you see is what you get, and that's the way it will always be with this game. So, with that in mind, I still think it's a very great game, even when there's not enough unit variety for me, personally, and I think it gets a little bland. I think for people who want to pick it up and play it all the way through one time, it doesn't take too long, and it ends up being a great experience. And I, personally, play it once through until I die or until I finish, and then I put it down for a couple months. And it's a game you can come back to, and that's important. That's a good thing. Personally, this game deserves an 8 out of 10, maybe even a 9, but I'm a little picky when it comes to the unit variety. So, yeah, that's my review. Hope you have a good day. See you in the next one. Oh, like and subscribe, the whole YouTube thing. Okay.